How is Christopher Walken post-divorce different than regular Christopher Walken?
Where do Fallout Boys become Fallout
Right,
Men?
yeah, you're right.
At the Fallout Breasts.
Well, it was Grand Poo beer first.
So everybody's invited, and there's going to be free cake and free ice cream.
Okay, I feel surrounded. This is like the beginning of an X-rated movie, maybe? I don't know.
You kids at home, be safe. When you put down that video game and actually go live your lives.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo.
PRGE!
Whoa! I'm Josh, Tom, Brad, and we're here with Evil Jared, Mr. Wizard.
Welcome to the Dogcast.
Welcome to the Dogcast, Jared.
Thank you, sirs. Thank you for having me.
Woo!
Thank you for pretending to know
Happy
who
Portland.
I am.
Yeah, so
Mr. Wizard, you're a man worth knowing. You know why? Besides your beautiful beard,
Thank you.
you make these awesome productions. These, would you call them reproductions of video games? How would you phrase this?
Well, it's a blanket term. There's reproductions, and then there is physical releases of homebrew games. AM2R is a physical, I would call it not necessarily a reproduction, it's just a physical version of something that was available and distributed for free online.
Yep. Nintendo loves it. Their favorite game.
Nintendo absolutely loves it. In fact, they contacted me and they said, oh yeah, we want to fly you out to Seattle and take you to court. But no, the story behind that one was years ago when that project, before it had received its cease and desist, somebody reached out to me from the AM2R community. One of the developers from the game reached out to me, who was also a fan of my work, and he asked me if I would be interested in making physical copies of the game just for the development team.
Okay.
And I agreed because that didn't seem like that big of a deal. I already had the game, I'd been playing it, I was giving feedback. I thought this is the least I could do, you know. I didn't know there was like 25 people on the development team, so I was shipping these things everywhere from Ireland to the UK. 2 of them went to Canada.
Oh yeah, because the team's distributed all over the world.
They're all over
right?
the world. So what I had to do was I had to reach out to every individual member of the team and make sure everybody was cool with it.
Okay.
It's one of those rare occasions where the game's distributed for free, but I still had a weird feeling in my gut about making money off of it.
Sure.
To this day, I don't know that I've actually made any money off of it because I have given away so many copies of this for free that I may have broken even at this point.
Now, you wouldn't have had to make like PAL versus NTSC
No,
versions of
it's
the game,
strictly
right?
PC.
Okay.
It's strictly PC game. It's self-booting. It's essentially the same free game that was distributed right before the cease and desist.
Sure.
Except it's a self-booting disc. Put it in your optical drive. It boots up off the disc. Plays with a USB controller. It saves the save games to the local drive on the computer.
Really?
And it has the full soundtrack, uncompressed audio soundtrack in there. So they're not MP3s. I have the uncompressed audio files that were given to me.
Dude, I know what we're listening to on the way home.
The music is fantastic. The music's fantastic, and the best part is that the soul of the game, I should say the meat and potatoes of the game, not all of it, but most of it, and the soundtrack were both done by the same guy.
Excellent.
So, and I reached out to him, and I leave his name out of everything now because he has become gainfully employed in the gaming industry since then.
Okay.
So he's got to keep himself as separated as possible from this project.
Understood.
But this is pretty much this is everything that I've done with this. I got his permission.
Sure.
And the argument always comes up, yeah, but you didn't get Nintendo's permission. And it's like, well, then don't get it. Like, don't play it.
Right.
So we have this on the PC. You also do Dreamcast.
I do Dreamcast as well.
Yes.
Now Dreamcast is actually I'm not gonna call it next gen because now I'm aging myself because I remember thinking, oh yeah, next gen, 20 years ago.
I'm right there with you, buddy. Yeah. 20 years ago.
I just did the Kickstarter for the Dreamcast book. I'm super excited to finally get it eventually.
Really?
Probably 2 years from now. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, Dreamcast, as far as disc-based systems go, Dreamcast was always my favorite. I was a day one buy on it. I didn't give up on it ever, and I'm glad I didn't because, I mean, it is. It's a fantastic system. I think it was completely underrated.
Definitely.
Totally underrated.
It is one of my favorite Sega systems.
I was kind of looking at it as like
systems all time.
Continuation arcade-like games, kind of like Neo Geo, but like the next,
And you can tell a lot about a system by what games are the most popular, like regional-wise.
Yeah.
In Japan, I think fighting games kept that thing afloat. I think fighting games kept the Dreamcast, the whole project ahead. But in America, we dropped the ball. We dropped the ball bad, and it didn't get the notoriety that it deserved for a game system.
I still remember how sad I was when I read the article that they were going to cease production on the Dreamcast. I'm like, this thing just came out. What?
I bought mine like 2 months before.
Like, even my
Sega
grandma
Sports
loves Crazy
Edition.
Taxi. You can't take the system away from the people.
No, $99.99. I was in line at Fry's Electronics in Phoenix,
Yeah,
Arizona,
man.
waiting to get my Dreamcast.
Yeah, Best Buy, Brookfield, Wisconsin. Day one, baby.
So how long did it last? Like 2 years?
Well,
I actually can't remember.
I
it's
think
never
just
died
7.
in my heart.
Well, I
Right.
mean,
It's still
ceased
alive.
production.
Yeah.
I still play it.
I-
Dynamite Cop's my favorite.
So do
game.
I. Yeah,
Race isn't over till the last horse crosses the line, and
that's right.
people are still doing stuff for the system. So
But sorry. But I did see this, and this has all the LucasArts.
not all of them, but
The ones that
the ones
that
that
matter.
I personally played. I'm a huge fan
Yeah.
of the LucasArts games.
Day of the Tentacle, Full Throttle, Indiana Jones and
Exactly.
the Fate of Atlantis.
But we did find out, I do quality control. We did find out while we were doing beta testing on these, because what I'll do is, the people who follow me on Instagram and Facebook, I'll send out early copies of the game,
Yep.
and I'll just ask these people, look, free copy, discounted copy, whatever the case might be, can you play it? And can you tell me if it works correctly? Can you tell me if it saves? Does it save? Does it glitch? Does it freeze? I need to know these things before I start making like final copies of this stuff, right?
It's a nice way to
So-
go about it.
I sent out those discs. It's 3 discs, and across those 3 discs, I think we've got 12 games, 11 games, or something like that. Multiple iterations of different games as well.
Oh, okay.
Because the thing with LucasArts point-and-click games is that they were on that cusp of when PC games were switching over from 3.5-inch floppies to CD-ROMs.
Yep. You got
so
talkies.
there was what was known as the talkies,
Yep.
and then there was the 3.5 floppy versions that had no spoken dialogue, but they had subtitles.
Yes.
When it's possible on that, both versions are on that disc. You
Oh,
have
cool.
So Monkey Island, you have the CGA version and the VGA version.
Right on.
You have on Day of the Tentacle, I believe I did the talkie and the one I may have not done the one with the subtitles.
Yeah.
And then with a game like Loom, I have all 3 versions of Loom on there.
Oh,
And-
wow.
And Loom was a game changer.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a copy here for the PC Engine CD that I may actually pick up. Because
Loom?
I've never seen it in person for purchase.
Oh, really?
So I may actually pick it up because I think the PC Engine version is the best one. It's on there, and it works.
That's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And they're all different.
Sure.
They're the same game,
Right.
but because it was on that cusp, Loom was
Yeah.
one of those games where every single word of dialogue in the game was spoken.
Yeah.
So when they came out with the PC version of it, they had to cut the game short because they ran out of disk space for all of the dialogue.
Oh, no way.
So if you
I
want to
know
play
that.
the full version, you can't play the talkie because the whole game's not there.
It just ends.
Yeah, they just end it.
Game
The whole game
over,
doesn't
dude.
exist.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I included all of those because
Yeah.
technology's made it so that we can.
God bless you, technology. God bless you.
God bless
Sega
technology.
Dreamcast.
Whoever invented MP3 encoding.
No, that's great, man.
Yeah, but we found out unfortunately, during beta testing, Full Throttle, the Dreamcast runs out of physical memory. So you can make it about 7/8 of the way through the game.
Oh, really?
So anybody who's played Full Throttle, they know the scene at the end with the destruction derby where you catch on fire and you're
Oh,
walking
yeah.
around.
Yep.
The game locks up right there.
The kill screen? That's a kill screen?
It's a kill screen. So again, it locks up. So I've notified people, look, I'm not taking it off because it's still fantastic.
I love Full Throttle.
And the dig.
So much.
The dig was a stretch. I did not think the dig was going to work,
Yeah.
but you can get pretty far into the game, just enough to get those emotional feelings.
Yeah.
The average person's gonna
Robert
set
Patrick's
it down.
finest moment.
Love it.
Yeah.
That game was so amazing.
Yep.
And yeah, that's one of those ones. It's only those two. Those two are the only ones that don't work all the way. Every other game in that set,
As long as Sam and Max plays all the way
100% Sam & Max works perfectly.
Fuck yeah.
Perfectly. And the manual in that, I don't know if you ever got, see, I go back way PC nerd.
Mm-hmm.
I used to get I'd go into Babbage's.
Yeah.
And I would, every month, I would get that LucasArts magazine.
Oh yeah, they did.
So
that.
it had a different game on the front.
Yep.
It had the store advertisements. It would have articles on the games. The manual for that I made the whole manual from scratch, 100%.
Did you?
The manual has all of the Sam & Max comics that were in those LucasArts Adventure
Oh, that's really
magazines.
cool. Yeah.
So if you go through it and you flip through it, like every couple of pages, there'll be one.
Right.
And I got all of them.
Right.
Because it's that to me was important because I grew up with those on the PC.
Yeah. That's
so
awesome.
everything I make for the Dreamcast is it's a passion project. It's something that I really, really, really want to do for me, and then I can just continue producing it for other people to enjoy.
Very cool.
So I got to ask, you got to have a list. What's on deck next?
Well, honestly, Rise of the Triad was the only thing that was up next, and it's
Okay.
sitting in front of you.
I'm
Right
looking forward
now,
to playing it.
Okay, so right now, there's two things, and the way that I do things is people throw things up against the wall, and if it sticks to my wall, I'll look at it.
Sure.
The LucasArts thing was something that I really wanted to do, and somebody threw it at me. Hey, they work. You should give it a try. Doom was something that as soon as they released the source code for that thing, it became possible for people to start writing it in SDL to get it to work on Dreamcast.
Okay.
So both of these, Rise of the Triad and Doom, are written in the SDL, but they play flawlessly.
I can't wait to play Doom on Dreamcast.
They play perfectly. The Doom collection is actually
That's really cool.
It has all the original Dooms, 1 and 2, Ultimate, Final. So you've got TNT and was it Plutonia Experiment?
Yeah.
16 episodes of Wolf and Doom.
Wolf and Doom was a reskin of Doom 2 to look and play with the sound effects of Wolfenstein, but 16 episodes of it. As well as some other things, like there's a Heretic and a Hexen graphical hack, a Doom 64 graphical hack.
Okay.
So you can play through the games, just they look like, look like they would on the Nintendo 64. Or other small graphical hacks that I included. And again, there's so many different Doom hacks out there. Hundreds.
Sure.
Like I actually opened up a list, a database online of all of the best Doom WADs.
Mm-hmm.
I got tired after like the first 12 pages. I was like, I can't do this.
There's so many.
I cannot do this. There's way too many.
Yeah. Your computer locked up just like full throttle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially
but-
going onto a web page that hasn't
Doom
been visited
Quest?
since 1990. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
It had to dust the cobwebs off of the browser when I got to their side.
Yeah. Absolutely. I can imagine.
But yeah, it's those are things that people threw at me. Rise of the Triad actually, Rise of the Triad came from somebody who got one of the Doom collections from me. He said, hey, have you ever thought about doing this? So then I looked at it and I thought, well, holy shit, it's been ported. Why not?
Right.
So next on deck, a lot of people have been asking me about Sierra stuff, like the Sierra versions.
Yes.
Don't get Tom too excited here.
Oh, please.
Somebody asked me, what about
God.
Police Quest? And I was like,
Yes.
I'm looking into it. I'm looking into it.
Oh my God.
I'm seeing what I can do with
the
it.
Gabriel Knight collection would be just freaking awesome.
I mean, all things.
If I might just throw
The
something
problem
at you.
is, even though we're looking at older technology with PC games, the average person looks at a Dreamcast specs and they're like, this thing was an overpowered PC to play these games. And it's like, yes, it was a very powerful piece of machinery, but it is ported. Some of this stuff runs like complete ass.
Sure.
Because it wasn't designed to run on a console.
Right. Yeah.
It was designed to run in DOS. It doesn't matter 486 processor or not. It was designed to run on a different operating system. So some of them run fine, some of them do not. A good example is Neverhood. I made Neverhood, and that's where my quality control dropped the ball on me.
Never. Yeah.
I sent out 2 copies to get tested, and both of those people, when I touched base with them after a few months,
okay.
I shot them out messages, and I said, hey, have you had a chance to play this yet? Because I'm getting to the point where the manual's done, and all the artwork is done. All I need now is the go. Do I make this? Both of them fed me some hot garbage about how great it was. So then I produced 20 copies of that game, and I'm selling it to people.
Right.
So then some guy messages me who follows me on Instagram, and he says, hey man, it doesn't save. So then I thought, well, that's weird. So I go on and I fire it up on my Dreamcast. And so then I'm not throwing discs literally in the garbage when they don't work out correctly. I'm doing this all on a GDMU off of an SD card.
Test and production.
Well, on the GDMU, it runs great, because it's not spinning anything, right?
Sure.
Well, on the GDMU, works great. Menus flow fantastic, game looks great, menus pop up, you hit the trigger, the keyboard pops up, everything's there. You save the game, the VMU beeps, it shows that it's saving, right? Well, I never went back to play a saved game. You save your game, but as soon as you turn the Dreamcast off, your save's gone. It doesn't actually save them. So first ball that's dropped, no, it doesn't save.
Yeah.
So then second ball that dropped is my fault. I never played it on an actual disc.
You know, maybe you should play your games. I'm just saying.
That's why I send it out to people, because this
you play this shit.
This is a hobby. This is a
Right.
hobby. This isn't making me money. Like, people see this stuff and they think, well, you got to be getting rich. Oh, horseshit! I am not getting rich off of this stuff. Like,
Right.
this is a, like I said,
You're
this
giving
is
it away on podcasts.
but I didn't bring these to sell. I brought these to give them to people.
Dude,
I got a
thank
backpack.
you. Thank
I got a
you so
backpack
much.
full of keychains with my logo on them that I've literally been hanging them off of shit since I've been here. You know, like,
Yeah.
I don't want to go home. I need the room in my bag for the crap that I bought since I got
Yeah.
here. But it's
a labor of love.
It is, and that's why I was upset that Neverhood was such a piece of shit, because I really wanted it to work.
Right.
So then when I finally played an actual disc to see what the hell everybody was talking about, I played it and I thought, holy shit, I'm selling a game to people that plays awful.
Right. The sad
So-
trombone triggered in your head.
Done. Like, done. Not making that anymore. Like,
Right.
I can't charge people for that. So every copy that was already done, like, I'm just handing them out. Stocking stuffers. Somebody you hate, here it goes. Like, you can have it. But these, I am glad to say that these work flawlessly.
Great.
They work perfectly. They don't freeze. They don't lock up. They play great.
So cool, man.
Sure, if Apogee was still around, they'd agree with me. It's awesome.
Right.
How many of these different games have you put together?
A ton.
You've lost count?
So I originally started doing reproductions for me. I was really big into imports, and I'm like most Americans that are a product of the public school system. I speak one language, so Japanese is. It's rough on some of these games. Like, you can sit there and you can read the script off of your phone.
Sure.
I go old school. Like, I am back in the day where I was printing this stuff out in the computer lab in high school, reading the script to these games that I was buying out of the back of a GamePro magazine. Like, I was dedicated to some of this stuff. So as soon as somebody asked me, hey, you write EPROMs, because I was tuning race cars. Like, that's what I originally. This came from me tuning racing cars, like track racing cars. I had the EPROM programmer. I had stacks of EPROMs.
Yep.
And they're like, hey, can you just burn me these chips so that I can make my own translated copy of, fill in the blank?
Right.
So then I go and I get the files and I write it to the chip and I look at it. And at this point, I was already like big into retro gaming. So I'm looking at the two pieces together and I'm like, why in the hell did I never figure this out before? Like, I can do this. I'm stupid. I've been throwing away like stacks of paper, wasting my time reading scripts when I could have just been translating my own games.
Yeah.
So I made him a Secret of Mana 2. And then for me it was, well, shit, if I can make that, if I can make Star Fox 2, then I can do anything. So my first reproduction cartridge that I made was Star Fox 2.
Was it?
And at the time, we're talking like 8 years ago.
Sure.
8 years ago, you were wire wrapping that son of a bitch one wire at a time.
Wow,
42 pins on some EPROMs. That one in particular has 36 pins. You had to solder all 36 wires onto this tiny little circuit board and wire them up to an EPROM. And it would take 2 hours to make one cart. And now they make
Sounds
chips.
like busy work to me.
Exactly. And that's where it all started. Like, that's where it all started.
Sure.
That's interesting.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Thankfully, things are a little bit easier now.
Yeah. No. If I had to tell you exactly how many I've made, like different games.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably at least 50 different games between translations and homebrews. I mean, I've been part of different projects.
Okay.
Like, I did the special edition, the limited edition of for Jeff Wittenhagen.
Oh yeah.
I did his Black Box Challenge special edition.
Former podcast
We know
guest,
Jeff.
Wittenhagen.
Everybody knows Jeff.
We miss you. Miss you, Jeffrey. Yeah.
Published author with one good book that has me in the back of it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, no, he got in touch with me. I made the special edition. I think it was only 10 or 20.
Okay.
I knew I did a good job when I came here that year after that came out. Somebody was selling the like number 19 or something for $300. So
Holy shit.
Now we got a dollar amount for how awesome my shit is.
Right.
So, yeah,
we
no,
got a quantifiable number. Damn right.
Yeah, no, it's.
Yeah.
I don't really look for things to do. I wait for people to ask me, "Can you do it?" and then I do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If I spent my
And
time,
you've been doing it well. So.
Well, when I do something, I don't I don't cut corners and I don't half-ass anything. If it's
Yeah.
not something that I would be proud to have, then I don't bother with it. I don't mess around. I buy for discs. I buy the highest quality discs that you can buy on a consumer grade.
Sure.
I mean, I have a consumer level duplicator, but the discs themselves are diamond grade.
Yeah.
And they're not labels. They're printed. My artwork is printed to the disc. My manuals and everything are, I mean, everything looks legit. And it's because
Looks
I
great.
want it to look like something you'd be proud
And
to
it's
have in
shrink
your
wrapped and
collection.
everything. I mean,
I shrink wrap the shit out of everything.
Hell yeah.
Especially here, because I'd have a backpack full of loose discs if I didn't.
right. So today, we've been asking all of our guests a couple questions. And so we wanted to start by asking, what is your most, what is favorite?
Memorable early gaming experiences.
Yeah.
Oh, fist fights over GoldenEye. Yeah, no,
That's my favorite answer so far.
That's
Yeah.
a no-brainer.
Damn.
Who won the fight?
And I believe you.
Well, there's one person still alive, so we know.
No,
Right, yeah. Tell the tale.
No, you level the playing field. You don't do man with the golden gun. Nobody's allowed to pick odd job because his head is below the
Yeah.
cursor. So
Yeah.
you make it fair. You do pistols and knives or proximities. Was it pistols and proximities? I think is what we usually did.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I never played the game, so I'm one of those.
Oh no, my sleeping schedule
idiots.
every summer when that game came out. I would go to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning, wake
Right.
up at 1 in the afternoon.
I don't think you're alone. I hear a lot of people play the game.
No, that is literally that's the earliest thing I can think. Going back and playing video games, like something I remember distinctly, is getting in a fight over GoldenEye, and me having to walk home at 6 a.m.
Right.
Because I was told that I wasn't allowed to stay at his house anymore. So
Yeah.
Dude, controllers back in the day, I remember tossing a few. Those things could hold up back then. I feel like if I were to throw something today, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
No, see, controllers were more dangerous back in the 90s because you had a cord. So you could get that son of a bitch whipped around nice and fast.
I'd whip it too.
Nobody wants to throw an $80 wireless controller.
Like a prison
No,
weapon.
no.
You miss, you got to go get it like an asshole.
Right. And
Like
now they
back
just-
then, you could just bring it back.
And now they have like removable parts, shit'll just go flying, and it's like a game of perfection. every
Oh,
time
yeah,
you
no.
throw it. Yeah. Ridiculous.
You throw a Nintendo 64 controller at somebody, they're going home with three evenly spaced bruises on them.
And the PlayStation
Going to
3 even
ER.
flirted with the idea of having a boomerang controller. So come back
Just
to
come
you.
back to you. Yeah, I hit you twice.
Add the rumble pack. Oh, add the tremor pack for even more.
The tremor
A
pack.
10-pound tremor
Oh man,
pack.
you could get a Nintendo 64 controller weighing a shit ton if you had the rumble pack with the batteries and everything in it. It was already a hefty controller, but you put that bastard on it, oh,
Totally.
the size of a combat boot.
Right. Absolutely. But
Another question we've been asking everyone. Games that we eagerly awaited, we're hyped for. What game were you most anticipating a release for?
How far back are we going?
Anything?
as far back as you want to go.
Holy shit, man, when I went and saw The Wizard, Mario 3 was like
Mario 3.
the most
Oh, yeah.
amazing thing I'd ever seen in my life.
That's not out yet.
Dude, there's a VHS video of me. My dad was real big with VHS cameras. He used to videotape everything. He loved having our whole family's
Yeah.
life documented.
Were you like the N64 kid?
No, no. It's actually funnier than that. It was some sort of a party for a family member.
Okay.
And my dad comes into my bedroom and I'm playing Mario 3.
It was a funeral.
I don't remember. But I'm we still have the video. My dad didn't get rid of any of this stuff, but he's
Good.
trying to record me and talk to me, and I'm telling him to record the television because the game is the most amazing game I've ever seen in my life. It's the game from the movie.
Not me.
What are you recording me for? Record this
Right.
game. This is momentous.
This is
That's
right.
where you got Mr. Wizard.
Yeah.
from The Wizard.
California.
No, I didn't get Mr. Wizard. Okay, so
no inspiration.
So, Mr. Wizard, I was telling you earlier, my nickname came from a friend of mine. I used to fix people's broken stuff for him. And what I fixed for this guy was one of those glass front Vizio televisions that had the touch panel on the glass. He got it at a Goodwill for $10 because it would turn on and it would turn off.
Because it's a Vizio.
Did some Google searching. I found out that it's a common capacitor that burns up, so I get the capacitor changed out. He gets a $150 television for $10 plus $4 to have this thing shipped to me.
Nice.
And he tells me that I'm basically like Mr. Wizard, but I'm not an asshole. So I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. So then he sends me all of these Mr. Wizard is an asshole to kids memes.
You're right.
And it's all the memes of Mr. Wizard, like the video caps where it looks like he's trying to kill the kids with like fireballs and shit.
Sure.
So from that day forward, this is like predating the beard 4 years. So I didn't have
This is PB?
I didn't have. Yeah, this is PB. Like this is OG baby face. You could still see my lack of weak chin. I'm not much of a man, but with this beard, you wouldn't know that. So
I understand that feeling.
yeah,
Yes.
I got a super weak chin.
I haven't seen my chin since 8th grade. I don't know what it is anymore.
Right.
Yeah, so I went with it, and the beard isn't because of the nickname. The beard is because went on vacation, didn't take a razor, and then I realized that it's fantastic. Like not shaving is the best thing ever.
Agreed.
I can't do this.
It's pretty sweet.
I can't do this
Yeah.
because I don't know if you've noticed, but like volume, it's not all there, and this grows in even weaker.
Oh, okay.
Like this is almost
It's looking good though.
This
I
is
mean,
an embarrassment when it grows out.
This has been beard talk.
You're following Beard Talk.
Right. Do you use a beard oil or a beard
I
balm?
do. Honest Amish.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta keep it moisturized.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
my first
It's a
foray
disgusting
into.
word, but yeah.
I'm just started the whole beard thing, so
Moist.
I'm getting schooled. I don't. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice you have a beard.
Yeah, I'm trying, guys. I should probably just shave the fucking thing.
We'll have to have someone zoom in on the camera.
I like blades. That's me.
Clearly.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
But see, that's the
Anyways.
other thing is that I don't know what shape my head is. Underneath this, I could have one of those really
I like
oddly
the
shaped
shape of your
heads.
They
head.
have that lump that you never knew was there.
Well, I took a lot of hits to the head.
Goldeneye.
Well,
Yeah,
not
a lot of
just that.
golden eye.
Not just that.
Right.
I've got a lot of scars, emotional and physical. So
Oof. You
they're
don't
all
wanna see
over
the
my head.
emotional ones.
So I could be one of those guys that when I finally decide to shave it, I look like I was in a garbage fire.
Right. So, okay, where can people get a hold of you to start throwing ideas your way again so you can make some awesome products?
Instagram is probably the best way. I've gotten a lot of backlash because I try not to use Facebook anymore.
Okay.
I'm one of those weirdos that just went nuclear and deleted my whole friends list because I can't
Did full Ted Kaczynski.
do that anymore.
Right.
So people can get a hold of me on Facebook. It's Nobody Sees the Wizard. It's Mr. Wizard Reproductions.
Okay, yeah.
So anybody that's ever typed in like the name of a group or whatever, it's my actual business page, if you can call it a business.
Sure.
Is Nobody Sees the Wizard, I believe.
Okay.
But it's Mr. Wizard Reproductions. Instagram, I'm evil_Jared.
Awesome.
JARRAD. And then, you can look up the hashtag Nobody Sees the Wizard, and if you see a video game, it's probably me.
Okay.
But I enjoy talking to people.
Yeah.
I have an away message set up, so if I can't get to people right away, I want them to know I'm not ignoring them. I respond to everybody
Yeah.
eventually. And any
That's
ideas, when people throw ideas at me, that's where all this stuff comes from. And regardless of what side of the fence you're on, like piracy, maybe, gray area, I call it abandonware. Mm-hmm. But
You're keeping it alive. You're doing a service.
But
People-
I don't do retail copies of stuff. Like, if you can go buy it, I'm not gonna make a reproduction of it. Like, I've had people say, "Can you make me a cheap little Samson?" It's like there's no such thing. It's $1,200.
Right.
You know, get good or don't get it. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Get
so
good.
so that's one of my gray areas with is what I'm doing. Like, these don't exist.
Right.
You can get mad at it, but everything I make, you have no other option.
Right.
If you want to play it on an American NES, it doesn't exist. If you want to play it on an American Super Nintendo, it doesn't exist.
You should hook up with the Video Game History Foundation or something. They might.
Well, it's true. Funny thing, John Hancock's NES collection that was in the museum last year.
Yeah.
My Ghostbusters cart, he put it in the collection.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was next to Jeff's game, so I took some Post-its and I covered Jeff's game up. But yeah, it's...
You evil man.
I
you.
didn't intentionally get a following. I mean, if you can call it a following, but
You
I
did
didn't...
get a little boost from that, didn't you? The Ghostbusters
Oh my
card?
God, the official Ghostbusters Facebook page? Holy
Yeah.
shit. They got a
Yeah.
hold of the very first one that I made. I was on my way to El Monte, California to pick up some arcade cabinets.
Yeah.
And we left Super Bowl Sunday. We left Phoenix. It's a 5-hour drive to El Monte.
Okay.
Basically, cell phone blackout. Driving through California, I don't want to get pulled over. Phone's on silent, right?
Yep.
We get to King Taco in El Monte, California. I get out of the car and I look at my phone, and my Facebook page has 100 and something messages.
Holy shit.
And I thought that my account was hacked because that's not a thing you
Yeah.
see.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I open up the messages and it's everybody wanting to buy something from me. And I thought, oh shit, they've got the wrong guy.
I might have been one of them.
Might have been. But then I started looking at the messages, and it was all people wanting to buy my Ghostbusters cartridge. Where can I get one? Where can I get one? I had only made one.
Yeah.
Only one existed. And I thought, how in the hell do these people know about this thing?
Yeah.
And
Ghostbusters fans, we know.
well, and then like 3 or 4 hours
like
later,
Ghostbusters.
3 or 4 hours later, a friend of mine sends me a message with a screenshot of that posting from the Ghostbusters page, and he says, "Oops." So he takes a picture of it and posts it to his Twitter. And in the Twitter universe, everything goes 1,000 miles an hour.
It does.
Everybody gets a hold of this picture.
Got something that hits.
One person attached my name to that thing, and it funneled all that traffic to me.
Wow.
Everybody's coming to me. Where can I get one? The drummer from Green Jelly wanted to know if I can make a custom one with their band logo.
Right.
On it. Like
evil wizard.
It got out of control. Well, no, he wasn't the good drummer. He's the new one.
Oh, fuck that guy.
Sorry if you're watching.
Oh, just kidding.
He's in green jelly.
I'm sorry for your loss. So that's when everything took off.
Sure.
That was when somebody told me you either need a Twitter or an Instagram.
Yeah.
Because this is getting really
and get off Facebook.
This is getting really
you
big.
Old man. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't so much getting off of Facebook. The reason I moved away from Facebook and I moved towards Instagram is in the last like 3 or 4 years, Facebook started doing this shit where when people post, it puts all of their posts out of order.
Oh yeah.
And I do claim sales. I don't have a store. I don't have an Etsy. I don't take pre-orders. Like everything I do, I've got 20 copies. They'll be available 1 week from today.
Yeah.
And then, 6 days from now, you have 24 hours to get your shit together.
Yeah.
Turn on your notifications. And then when there's like an hour left, I'll remind everybody there's an hour until these go up for sale. And I'll do a claim sale.
Yeah.
And I'll tell everybody, hey, they're going up. There's 20 copies. Type in claim. I'll take everybody in order.
I remember that.
The first time I did that on Facebook, everybody's shit is coming in out of order.
Oh, that's... Yeah.
And I'm looking at it, and it's like 23 minutes ago, an hour ago, 5 minutes ago, 23 minutes ago, and I'm like,
right.
I can't do this.
Yeah.
So then people say, well, then you should get an online store. It's like, no, because then I become a business, and that's not what I am.
Right, yeah.
Like,
you don't want no.
This is I come home from work and I make a few copies Monday through Friday, and then after I get everything put together, there's 20. They're gone when they're gone,
Yeah.
Tell me you want it, everybody gets taken in order.
Yeah.
Instagram is the only it's the only dependable outlet to do claim sales now. If you're going to be doing a limited quantity, I mean, if you have one of something,
it's good to know.
You can look at the first guy who responded. But yeah, if I've got 20 people typing in claim on Facebook, they might not be necessarily in the order that they type that in. It rearranges everybody's based on some algorithm.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't use Facebook for that anymore. But
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
Zuck.
Well,
So then, I that Ghostbusters cart is what started this. That's what started the, hey, if you can do that, can you do this?
Right.
Like that Super Nintendo Back to the Future with the light up flux capacitor on it.
That's cool.
100%. 100%. Somebody asked me if I could do that.
Yeah.
And I thought, probably. Like
Right,
nothing's
yeah.
impossible. I could probably do it.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Man. Well, hey, thanks for stopping by the Dogcast, Jared. Really appreciate it.
No, it was fun.
Good talk.
Good to have you.
It's always good to talk to people
Thanks
besides
for
myself,
sharing.
man.
Yeah. Yeah, and thanks for all the swag, dude.
No, have fun.
Uncalled for, but I'm going to be playing this, honestly.
I brought this stuff
much.
to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Like that's the only way I can put it. It's leftovers.
We'll be your dumpster.
When I ship this stuff out, every once in a while you get 1 or 2 that are lost or broken in the mail, so you always have to have leftovers.
Right.
Well, once everybody gets their copy, this is extra. So now it's like, ta-da!
Yeah, baby! Yeah!
And you'll be releasing more new Ghostbuster 2 carts on Halloween, you said?
Ghostbusters is, the slime cartridges are a strictly October, like Halloween thing.
Cool.
The parts are in hand, but because I've been out of town so much lately, I haven't had a chance to get caught up. So Ghostbusters is coming. It might not land on Halloween this time, but it'll be pretty close.
Yeah.
Okay.
The problem with that is the slime and everything, it looks like I just throw paint in that shit, but there is a method to how I do it. And there is actually a short video of my Splatterhouse cartridge. I do a similar thing.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
But with blood.
Sure.
And it's not red paint, it's actually a special mixture. Yeah, it's a special mixture of blood.
All your
human,
GoldenEye
pig,
victims. Yeah.
Unicorn. But no, it's a imitation, like glass. Like you're supposed to paint it on the glass, and it makes it look like colored glass. So it's clear. It looks like red stage blood. But there's a short video of me putting a splatterhouse together, painting it all. It's not just, careless. I am
It's
very
like fucking Bob
methodical.
Ross.
I am methodical.
Those strips are very beautifully, like, they stop at a certain point.
They have to stop so that they don't pool.
Yep.
I don't want it to splash over the edges. Like, I am methodical on how I do this stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'll check that out.
And Reggie from Radical Reggie, he'll attest to when something doesn't turn out the way I want it, it goes straight in the trash. Because he asked me if I had any extra boxes for Reggie's Radical Adventure.
Right.
I made 20 copies of that for the Game On Expo. And he asked, hey, do you have any extra boxes for my friends that don't have any boxes? And I was like, well, funny story about that. And I went out to my dumpster and I opened the dumpster and there's a bunch in the trash, but they already had trash thrown on top of them. He's like, why would you throw those away? And I said, because I don't like the way they turned out. So, yeah, I'm a perfectionist
Hey, man.
when it comes to this.
You got to stick to your guns. And,
If I wouldn't want it, I wouldn't want to sell it. So
Right.
That's the way it comes down to.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
I like
it was
that.
fun talking to you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, it's good. Great
Thanks
to have
again.
you.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Hair of the Dogcast. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Follow us on all the podcast services. You know the drill. You've been here before. But we've been live from Portland Retro Gaming Expo 2019. We'll be back.
Thank you.